Alright, hey guys, you guys are tuning into iCup Clan League Season 20, week number 6 between raGe and wOk Clan. Now, I'm pretty excited for this. wOk Clan isn't a super high level clan. raGe is about halfway up their bracket for Division B2. But I'm excited for this match. I'm a big wOk fan, so haven't really performed well at all this clan league, but they do have very fun players. My favorite of which is the Chilean player Blue, but he's not in this replay, this set, so I don't know where it is, but there are familiar faces in this 2v2 that we're about to hop into. But I just want to quick that out. My fan favorite will be wOk. I don't think they're going to win, though. They do have some weaker players and a lot of other teams in Clan League. And raGe, of what I've never casted them before, but they do have, looking at their statistics, they're doing moderately well. They're on the lower end of their bracket, but they're not terrible. wOk is second to last right now, so keeping that in mind, it's not too good for them. So, anyway, shall we hop into our game? I think it's a good time to hop into our game now. Alright, so let's get that music back up. Alright. So now, getting back into this game, so let's start this awesome replay. Oh, do not mind the overlay, it didn't quite change everything. As this is game number 1 of, between wOk. This is series number 1 between raGe and wOk. So, anyway, spawning in the top right, it will be wOk's Yankster, and his partner on cross positions on Gladiator will be the teal Terran Moxie, or wOk's Moxie. And then for raGe, spawning in the bottom right, it will be raGe's Token here. So, don't really know who he's going to be. And his ally will be the purple Zerg, CAS or raGe's Cos. I'm going to call him CAS because it's going to be easier. Cast is okay, but anyway, so Gladiator, let's refresh my memory. Okay, so yeah, this was a map I didn't really know much of last night, and hopefully I don't have to abruptly change because it was midnight and people were yelling at me, like what happened last night. But anyway, or at least for the iCup. So you have a reverse ramp, I'm kind of just flying out the books here, and then you have a pretty big choke. So taking that at Nashville is going to be moderately difficult, especially on a 2v2 map where, you know, you're not really going to take expands that aggressively. So, we'll see how it's going to go down, of course. We do see Moxie not really doing anything right now. So, I mean, Terran Zerg versus Terran Zerg. I've never really given much thought to this matchup. I mean, I've normally seen in Clan League, you know, Protoss Zerg versus Terran Zerg. So, Protoss Zerg versus Terran Zerg, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'll be interested. I mean, Terran versus Terran, you have to keep in mind, is mech. So, we probably will see mech because, you know, with 2v2, you know, especially since both Terrans on the southern side of the map here, there's kind of their own, you kind of see, like, your own, like, single matchups going on, like the ZVZ. Like, what do you do with ZVZ? You get for super quad, you cut a lot of drone production, and you get as many lings and you get as many Mutos out as possible. And that's what we're going to see both players doing right now. wOk Clan doesn't know what to do, though. They do know 2v2. Not like what I was playing last night. That was not moderately good skill level for that. But anyway, so I believe they both know what the generalization build. So I would assume mech for both Terrans here. It would probably be my prediction right here. I mean, also there's a reverse ramp, which will definitely help, but neither player is really taking up that high ground advantage here, even with going this mech and even realizing it is going to be Terran Zerg versus Terran Zerg, which, I mean, I'm not sure how, you know, played Yanks and Moxie do 2v2, I don't know. Actually, I believe Yanks is a mixed player, and I believe, oh, well, first off, Yank's going to be getting in here. He would start harassing his workers right there. I don't think he's really going to do too much. Just getting his scouting information. We'll be seeing mech is going to be other things. Slash whisper. Solder. Oh, you know what? Feel free to add me. Here, let's look. Okay, so this thing really didn't do anything. More just general of scouting, I think. Now Koss or CAS is gonna be sending over his links to help raid and help defend. As you know, mechs kind of take a little bit while, and you know, the general premise of 2v2, in my opinion, when you have a mixed matchup, you only have a Zerg with whatever. What? I'm in the middle of the cast. Middle. Anyway. So Yanks is actually somewhat contained right now. But gonna be getting a macro, so it looks like we're gonna see Ultra Lane coming from Yanks here. Same thing. So neither player's gonna be going meatless quite yet. Tends to be the normal transition for 2v2. But that's okay. It's not a huge deal. Okay, so Yanks is gonna be doing stuff pretty good. Looks like he will not be able to break through. But you know, CAS doesn't want to lose all his lanes here. We have to 2 factors right now. We are getting Vulture speed. Now for the other Terran, we are doing the exact same thing. So I guess this is just a preset build. Maybe they worked on this. I don't really know. I don't really know how much thought goes into Clan League. To be completely honest, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not important to win, as it's one of the probably bigger tournaments out there. I mean, no prize pool, but like, just, you know, just kind of big. There's a lot of players in general, so. You know, I probably should go to /D&D anyway. Probably, so that was my fault. But you know, speed vultures are definitely going to help against this Ling. But now when we see that, you'll be going quickly into Lair. There is 2 sunken, so you know, it's gonna be, as long as he target fires the vultures, it shouldn't be too much trouble. But at the same time, it's kind of like identical right now. We're actually seeing Moxie get a good drone harass going on right here. And you have to remember though, I mean, you know, the Zergs really only keep like 7 or 8 drones. Like they really don't really drone up that much. Just enough to produce, you know, 6 larva Lings every now and then. You don't maybe yeah, that's around, yeah, he had 7 drones right now, I believe. That's 7 drones. And with right patrol micro, he'll be okay. Yeah, he's got a very nice micro coming from that as well. I mean, the benefit to also going back though is like you get the transition to Goliath, so which is actually exactly what we're saying here. We see the armor coming up for those, maybe not even upgrades yet, but so be it. Okay, so we will be seeing Moxie. Okay. Oh. But actually, clearing out this mine zone, not bad by Casper here. You know, Token has less vultures, and he's actually shooting up a ramp, but you know, he does have that sunken side, that would definitely help. But you know, Moxie did have a high ground advantage for the time being. Alright, so Yanks is still going pretty heavy Ling right now. Spire's coming up right now. Now for Cass, he's getting up his Spire as well. Both these players are really going identical builds. Pretty, I mean, copy paste the bottom part with the bottom part again, and then copy and paste the Zergs and Zergs, and pretty much have identical builds here. Now Token's a little bit in trouble right here. But after last night, I have to say, Goliath are like the most imbalanced things ever. They do so much damage. It's not even funny. But yeah, definitely this harass gonna put Token a little bit behind right here. 2 SCP kills so far, 3 SCP kills so far. So really getting a pretty good high number on those vultures so far. We'll be able to clean those up. And yeah, the 3rd factory is not quite done yet, but that's just because of harassment. 1 upgrade did finish probably range on the Goliath. So it looks like Monk's going to take an expand here. I like that. I like that a lot. He can take and expand pretty well. And especially because meterlists are just coming out, so like he's definitely not going to get harassed right out of the bat. And I mean, like I was saying, like it's kind of their own ZVZ or TVT, because look at this. We're actually seeing the meterlists, and he's only defending to defend that. He's not trying to attack the Terran. So, oh, if he could snipe that off, though, that'd be kind of big, because he would supply block. Now he has to Scourge Dodge. See if he can do it. I mean, that's going to be kind of the key question here. So, nope, he's just going to take it like a boss. Don't really know why he got stopped, but Yanks, I'm definitely better about this guy though. Yanks, man, he has gotten, it must have been week 6 or 5, I forget. That guy, I feel so bad for him. He was like the other Zerg, I don't even know who, but he just went in with Mutalisks, and we saw like 8 or like 4 Spore colonies up, and it didn't. And the other Zerg didn't care. Like he was so hellbent on just killing off the entire middle line of Yanks. And he went in there and killed off all the drones at the expense of killing off all his mutalisks, and I just felt so bad for him, because it was like 3 games, and it happened every single 2v2 game he played. I kind of feel bad for Yanks here. I'm kind of glad that he didn't lose all of his drones this game. And it looks like, oh. So, Cass is not looking terrible right now. You know, he has good map control. And I don't know what exactly happened here. Another Vulture run by potentially. He's getting also his range right now. But we do want this base coming in from Moxie here. So Moxie, you know, the longer he gets that base and running for it, he's gonna be in a dominant situation here. But you know, you have to imagine, you know, when do you take that expand? Because you know, Yanks is in somewhat of a predicament here. I mean, he's doing a fairly good job of defending. He has 3 Sunkens, but you know, there's gonna be a lot of Goliaths coming in, and there's only 1 Sunken. Or 2, excuse me. So they can actually go target fire with the Spore Colony, and the Mutalisks can get in there. You know, you have to remember that, you know, Yanks doesn't have the Muta count that Cass has right now, or CAS, and CAS is going to continue to reinforce with Lings and Vito. I love Terran music. It's awesome. Alright, anyway, looks like that Goliath will die. Oh, he does have a +1 though. But now it's going to be +1 versus 0 upgrades, but there's a lot more Goliath here, so look how much damage they do. Look how much. It's so imbalanced, it's not even funny. Oh. Look at that. Look at the damage output on this thing. Oh, man. But the Lings are cleaning them up pretty quickly, though. Good thing to counter Goliath with that. Oh, but did lose quite a few of his Mutalisks right there. More reinforcements from Token are going to be back here to help that. And also, orange Goliaths are like the badass thing of the day. Like, I love these colors. But. So, raGe, it's hard to say. I mean, I'd say, like, who's winning right now would definitely be wOk Clan. Just in situation because, you know, we see that extra base going. But, you know, has it equaled out? Because, I mean, you know, Yanks has to invest so much in defense, you know, and he's really not, he doesn't really have a high Mutalisk count. There's maybe 5 or 6 of them. And Cass, I think, has, you know, just as many, if not more. But he's killing off Overlords right here. That's something gonna help. 37 supply, 235, so actually about even right now. So not bad by either player. Mutalisks are coming out right now, so will it do enough damage? That's gonna be the true question. Moxie's coming in with a big force right here. He does have his own +1. Is he continuing to get? Yeah, he's getting +1 armor now. I wouldn't be surprised for a second armor to be placed down since he's got the 2 base. Found a straying Overlord that will not kill it. Nice. Ooh. Well played. And it looks like, yeah, Yanks. He's gonna go with me. Yeah, okay, so raGe does GG in this situation. We're going to game number 2, guys. So wOk did win game number 1. I'm glad to see it. It's kind of hard to pinpoint really what went wrong in that game. Really, like, that when that expansion came up, it's really going to help out, you know, that one player. Because, you know, I mean, let's just talk about 2v2 for a second right now. You know, with 2v2 being kind of a weird matchup in general. But, okay, so... See, you know, you're equal footing when both your players are off of one base. You know, you and your ally on one base, and then you and your opponent off of one base, and then, you know, everyone's off of 2 bases equal again. But so, you know, when you have your opponent, when your ally defending so heavily as they are, they're really not going to be that effective at attacking. But, you know, you have to put in consideration, though, that Zerg on the opponent team is really not going to be that effective. It's kind of there to affect the other Zerg, and to get harassment factor in. Now, when that Terran is able to expand and the other one is not, that means their army is going to be, like, twice as powerful, and those Mutalisks are harassment units. And when they're not being used to harass, for example, if they're really not being utilized for a purpose, they can't really go ahead and go in and kill off Goliath. It's just not a cost-effective trade whatsoever. I mean, Goliath aren't the best thing to counter Mutalisks, but they're an early defense to defend Mutalisks with. They're like walking missile turrets, pretty much what they are. Now, and that's pretty much when that base went up. I feel like that's when the game kind of shifted gears to more of wOk's favor. I think they could have potentially won. I think raGe could have won. I think it would have been, you have to punish that expansion going up, and you really need to do damage to Yanks. But Yanks is playing pretty well, and it might be because of the fact, you know, for the last couple of weeks he's been taking a lot of hits. You know, lately, it means he really hasn't been helping that much in his 2v2. You know what? Not to say he's not a good player, he's just really hasn't been given the opportunity to. So, anyway, so we're gonna go in game number 2. I'm just gonna quickly put on my AC. That's what I always tend to forget to do. But all right, it'll probably get really cold in here, and then it'll probably be like half an hour in the cast, and probably realize it's way too cold in here. But anyway, so let's get on to our next game here, ladies and gentlemen. Next game will be on Othello. Interesting 2v2 map. Not as much as, like, it's not like a bad map. I think it's a little bit more interesting, but because it's very hard to take a third on this map. But anyway, so spawning in the top right, it will be wOk's Moxie here, and his ally will be, in a minute, once I change the overlay. I wish it was as quick as I hope it would be, but it's really not. That's a nice brown color. There's some pinging going on right about now, but his ally will be on the right side. So wOk land's going to be on the right side of the map on Othello. So, you know, in a mirror matchup like this, of how bizarre the mirror matchup is, let me take a 2v2 mirror matchup, but getting past that, you know, it's kind of hard to, as a caster standpoint, to like really kind of show why they chose this map. I mean, maybe they practice on this map and have some strategy for it. We did see pinging, which might be some kind of cheesy build coming up, but I don't know, I'll have to keep a close eye for that, what they were pinging. Now, they're probably talking in ally chat, so it doesn't come up in the ref, but that's okay. So the losers did pick the map here for Othello, and the reason why I don't really quite understand it is, it's somewhat difficult. To do Mutalisk Caress on this map is definitely going to be somewhat easier on certain expands. And benefit to the Zergs, you know, there is more surface area for the Mutalisks to roam around free on, so that might be a reason why, but that's kind of just sheer luck that both Terrans happen to have the bases that have the more surface area. But, you know, in defense of that, Terran can put up a lot of missile turrets in that area as well. So, you know, it's not as bad as, like, Fighting Spirit where you have to go through the entire main base because, you know, you can just come in from the back. You know, some of the expansions where you kind of have to go through back here, I mean, still over here, the Mutalisks can still run in pretty well. So, definitely a good Mutalisk Caress map. Maybe that's why, but, you know, whatever I say for the opponent can be applied, or for the chooser of the map could be applied to their opponent. So, because it is a mirror matchup, you have to keep in mind. So you know, wOk is up 1 right now, and it does look like we're going to be going down the mech route for Moxie. Now, for Token's going to be doing the exact same thing, probably putting down that factory fairly soon once he gets up to 100 gas. Definitely not a bad decision. Now I'm wondering if Cass or Yanks is really going to go for some kind of more aggressive Mutalisk. I mean, they got a little bit more delayed last game, which might have been the reason why Yanks was able to take that expand. I mean, you know, I'm not Yanks, Moxie, you know, with that expand really changed the game, kind of really, you know, threw the game out of whack, and because of that, well, I mean, pretty much made wOk win the game, but, you know, I'm trying to figure out what to talk about right now. And SCV was spazzing. Oh, does he realize that? Okay, I was gonna hope that he wasn't gonna. Yeah, that's bizarre. Links are you guys seeing this? Like, his refinery. So okay, so like one of these is gonna get stuck up here again. Yep, there it is. It's such a weird pathing issue. And that's really gonna mess up his gas, though. You know, you may just want to kill off that. Well, you can't really kill off the depot because then the lanes get in, though. So, very interesting. So it's really gonna put the hurt on Token for sure. Same that we do have Cass coming in here, but he does not have the pathing issue. But he's only following it up with one factory, though. So I don't really know what Moxie's trying to do here. Token is still off of one factory, gonna be getting up a second factory, lifting it off a little bit, probably to get a better scenario. Links from Yanks are gonna be going into his main base here. You do see a macro hatch going down as well for right now. And CAS is not. He's getting gas right now, so yeah, he's gonna go for. He probably already has speed. Yeah, he already has speed, so he's gonna be transitioning to lair. So he's gonna get that lair up, you know, slightly faster than what I believe his opponent's gonna be doing, because he's only mining, I believe, what, two guys on gas right now. So yeah, he's gonna be able to get his lair that much faster, which in a ZBZ can be pretty hard to deal with. We do have a lot of links coming from Yanks, though, so I don't think this from the Cass's links are really gonna do too much. However, there is a Vulture from Token there to do an extra DPS right there, which is also somewhat to consider. But yeah, no, Yanks is just gonna have 200 lanes right now. He wasn't really teching, so he doesn't really have a need to. Well, he's gonna have more lanes. He didn't decide to tech. I mean, he was waiting for that third layer to finish. And also, he was at his home base. He's got more units. Alright, so Yanks is getting map control right now. We do see Moxie getting Vulture speed. He's up to 2 factories. I'm probably going to say the exact same thing for Token. No, Token went for more Goliath heavy, which is actually interesting because with scouting information, you would realize that Yanks is not showing any indication. I mean, at least I can see exactly what's going on, but like he had like 2 guys on gas. I mean, he had a macro hatch down pretty fast. You know, generally you can say, well, whoa, that kind of engagement. But you know, Yanks is not going to be. Yanks has shown no indication to go Mutalisk. So I mean, going that Goliath that early isn't really a necessity. You know, you've got to get some other upgrades. You know, well, he's got to be getting upgrades. So I guess that might have been the reason why. But he's getting +1 pretty fast, and that's exactly what Token did last game. So I mean, not a bad build at all. You know, Yanks. I mean, Moxie on the other hand kind of waits for that upgrade to go in. He probably falls up range after this, and then I believe he went into +1. Yeah, that comes out. So about similar timings. There'll probably be a very, very tiny window where that +1 will be effective. So I mean, by the time we get across the map to each other, +1 is going to be pretty identical for both players. So just kind of getting one a little bit ahead of the other. Now this push can look somewhat devastating. They may be able to. I don't know. This is a lot of damage being done. He's bringing up on the drones right here. That might just be game, just straight up. He didn't get up a Spire at all. Oddly enough, yeah. Cass is eliminated from this game pretty much. It's really all you can say at this point. That Sun is being really annoying, but now reinforcing Goliaths are coming from Token though. But you know, the damage has been done. Like, irreversible damage cannot be done. He can only produce 2 drones right now, and all he has is an Overlord. That's the only thing he has on the map right now. So, even FTV getting in the action right here. Goliath versus Spider Mine vultures. I don't really know how effective. Spider Mine went off to a larva. Apparently they trigger it off. That's what I've learned from yesterday. So it looks like he will have 2 drones, so it doesn't look like it's casted out of this game, but I mean, look at the difference. I mean, look at the Zerg of here to this. Kind of different. And, you know, the other thing you have to put in mind, you know, Token's now split up his army, and, you know, he said when it is now if that drone attack comes on to Token, he's going to be at disadvantage. So, I mean, with that, I mean, either he has to either regroup his army, or he has to stay stationary at his opponent's base. So it's going to make it, if another push like that comes in, it might just be too much. But we'll see. He's even getting tanks now. So they want to do some more aggression right now. Not going to want to take and expand to what it looks like, at least for Moxie. Yanks is going to be getting up a Spire. Well, just starting against Lair. So that's why it's kind of the interesting thing. You know, if he had siege tanks, this might look not as bad. You know, puts 1 and 2 siege tanks back here with a couple 3 Sunkens, he's going to be impenetrable. But, you know, now with the fact that he doesn't have siege tech, which is probably just researching now, which he is, you know, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I mean, you know, Goliath really aren't going to be that effective in the grand scheme of things. They're imbalanced as they stand because they wreck Marines like nothing else, but what have you. Overlord dangerously getting low, and it does die, so that will further supply block its opponent, which only had 6 supply, so. You know, oftentimes though, you know, this actually sometimes makes the Zerg a bit more powerful, because now they're not worrying so much on defending, because they have their ally doing it for them. So they often tend to get a better saturation of their base. But we'll see. Because they're so far behind, you know, get that economic edge over the other Zerg. But that Spire's about 2/3 of the way done. So, you know, Meatless can go in here. I mean, can force the Goliath back, you know, get some lings in there, really do some damage. If he's that smart, I don't really know. Getting +1 armor, something about pinging. I'm really trying to kill off the power generators, I guess. That is a lot of Goliath, though. I guess, like, Mass Goliath is like the Terran Zerg versus Terran Zerg strat. And the funny thing is, he cannot kill off this Overlord right now. I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't killed that off. Oh, no. I thought that was Yanks' for a second. I'm like, why is he not firing at that? It's like the missile turret not out of range, and I'm just rally Goliath, just not auto-attacking it. That poor tank is stuck in between a mineral line. That poor tank. Gotta love Brood Repelling, man. Like, that is legit. Now, what's the follow-up? Okay, actually, we're actually gonna see an upgrade advantage to Moxie here, who was actually at maybe a 10-second deficit of their upgrades before, has actually gotten the lead now. So, nice reaction timing there. We do have tanks now. But yeah, he's gonna be going into Spire. So it looks like he stopped. No, he's still making drones. But here comes the attack right now. That tank is in the back, gonna be showing doing a good amount of damage right now. Upgrades are equivalent. So it looks like Moxie may have just thrown away his units. Just for 1 tank. I don't think he's gonna get it either. No, he will. But throwing away all those Goliaths for that, not terrible. But here we go again. He's getting that expansion up. But here we go, we're also seeing an expansion coming out of Token here. So Token's not going to be in such a bad scenario either. Does have this Goliath up there. Does have that Lair and Spire coming up as well. Ooh, we're finally seeing a Zerg expand too on the low ground. That is something you rarely ever see. But hey, what have you. Alright, so... But doobie. Okay, Terran Goliath. It's kind of interesting. We're seeing like a macro 2v2, which you rarely see, but it's kind of hard to, you know, tell what edge both players have. I was going to say Moxie has the edge, because, you know, there's like 6 Goliaths here that are kind of defending. But now, with him sending over this Goliath force, might just be enough to break through down CIS here, because that's pretty much the whole reason why. You know, CIS is still, you know, recuperating. But, you know, these Mutalisks are going to be absolutely worthless against, you know, Goliath. But I'm not sure if he's going to continue pushing in here. Will he continue pushing? You know, remember though, you know, Token does have a high ground, so not very actually effective for, you know, Moxie to even go up there right now. And look how fast that damage is done. 1 HP. 1 HP on that one Beetlesk. Not regenerating, of course. Okay, so we're having Token come in here with a tank. But here we go. I was gonna say, what is Yanks up to? And here we go. A nice flank coming from there. Nerd chills around my back from that engagement right there, but should be able to clean up those tanks though. Which I guess is another reason why you go Beetlesk, you know, for like mid and late game with tanks, you know, they can get in there and do some damage, but yeah, I'm not sure if you realize though, he could probably just go kill CAS right now with his Beetlesk. That's a lot of Beetlesk. No upgrades though. Just shaking the gas on the natural, so I'm not even gonna be like macroing. Because, you know, like, he's not even fully saturating his main base, so there's actually no point to really get that base for right now, at least, so. Except for the extra gas, of course. So try to build up his block as fast as possible. But too little too late, those Goliaths have to move and get in range. Uh-oh, that might change the battle. The Yanks has to be very careful, because I don't want to engage those Goliaths right now. Especially with plus 1-1. With 1-1 upgrades. So, upgrades have stopped for Token. Same thing with Moxie right here. Neither player has gotten Science Vessel yet. We might see. No. So neither player's gotten Science Vessel yet. No, neither player has Stargate, Starport, excuse me, yet either. So about identical builds again. Needless. Oh, nice killing off like eBay. Not a bad thing because now I can't build turrets. But here we go, though. But that's like the surface area you can build with. Like, you can get a lot of turrets back there. Oh, wait, right over here, though. Moxie's moving in the natural. There is a tank in the back, though, which will be somewhat hard to kill. But here come the Beetlesk to kill that off. We'll probably escape right now. Probably enough to kill off the remaining of these guys here, but they do have that +1 armor. So they have armor of 1 as it stands anyway. And they have +1, you know, and these guys only do 9 damage. So now they're doing 7, and now their second hit does, I believe, 1 damage, and their second hit only does 1 damage. So this splash damage, they're really not doing a lot of damage to Goliath in general, especially with that +1 armor. GG by Token, and Cass just, you know, rage quits after that. So not a bad series. I like to see wOk win some games, as I am a fanboy of them, of how bizarre that is, but, you know, what have you. 50-minute game flat. So I'm gonna go change the overlay a little bit. So that game though was pretty interesting. You know, we got, but you know, the whole reason. I mean, raGe really had a difficult standpoint, and I'm surprised they still stayed in the game for so long as they did, because I mean, you have to count up. You know, what can they do? I mean, you know, their ally was pretty much dead. We saw that pretty much. We saw Cass dead up to that point. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out what their thought process was. I mean, if you're not going to quit the game, that's fine. I mean, they gave up a fighting chance. And, you know, the problem was that we saw the Terran player for raGe just did not have the ability to really split up their army, you know, well enough. You know, imagine if there's 6 Goliaths were back with his main army, you know, they could have pushed. And, you know, I could also say that raGe was a little bit too passive that game. I mean, I could say that I really can't really say like it's their fault, but like because they're down actually, but you know because of that, you know, it's, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but like if we saw, you know, raGe's Terran engage like in other engagements, it would look a lot different. You know, you have to put the other Terran on their back foot, attack the Zerg. You know, really didn't do that because it was too scared of a counter push, which, you know, is imminent. But you kind of have to. It's kind of hard to play it safe. In that regard, I mean, you could try to play it as safe as possible and hope that your opponent messes up or whatever. But you really kind of have to start kind of just doing kind of weird stuff. At that point, you just want to try to cut as many corners as you can, especially when you're behind, in that kind of matchup. Especially when you're down 2-1, pretty much up to the point. But hey, I've seen it before. I've seen, you know, it's been like 2-1 or 2-1, and the one player did win. It happened yesterday. So next series will be, I have no idea who these players are. Well, let's see. There are no any of these players. We'll do Yanks. We'll do MX's raGe's MX versus Yanks. Alright, so first map's going to be on Sniper's raGe. As it is the starting map for week number 6, I believe. So, yeah, let's get into this awesome game, guys. If I could get into the overlay. So, spotting at the bottom right, it will be the blue Zerg raGe's MX. And then spotting at the bottom left, it will be the orange Protoss Yanks. So, Yanks is actually off-race, or plays 2 different races for 2v2. Because I've seen Yanks play... Yeah, Yanks, I've seen him many times before. Yanks is a player that's been playing consistently Zerg in 2v2. I think you might have seen him one Protoss in one game, but consistently as a Protoss for 1v1. And MX is Zerg. I don't really know anything about raGe's MX. I am sorry, but I really do not know who the heck you are. So I'm just going to have to go on that and just say, let's see what he does. And I mean, it might even just be a style where he might just be a pretty average Joe player. He doesn't have that style, It's gonna be hard. Yanks, I can't... I know he's not Black Dragon's Blade, who loves DTs, but... Yeah, I really don't know any kind of identification to what I would give Yanks as a player. I really couldn't really pinpoint something exactly what he likes to do. But it looks like he's going to be going for Forge Fast Expand, what it looks like. 9 pool coming out of MX here, so it might be a quick game. He's going to go all in with it, but no gas. So, probably going to go for more of an econ style. Do we have any casters that would love to cast? Nope. Alright, so, scanning, scouting, excuse me, not scanning. We do have an extractor coming up right now. We do have the forge coming up right now. I believe that's tight. I can never tell with the forge fast expand wall if that's going to be tight or not. Yeah, so it's like the early stages. I mean, he might go, so it's going to go Nexus first, or what it looks like. Map of Sniper's raGe also, this map, to favorite to win this. Just generally, without really talking about things. I mean, Yanks isn't going to be a super high-level Protoss. He's just not. Okay, I don't know why he delayed for that cannon, but you do have these ridges in the center of the map, which can make it somewhat difficult for Protoss to break out of a lurker contain. So if we see, if we see some kind of delayed Hydra bust, and then we just see go into lurker tech, that can happen, and you just get, like, a lot of lurkers here. You force a lot of storms to come out. Off that raGe, because this doesn't come on the high ground, it's going to make it hard for Dragoons. But, the same thing can be said over here with Dragoons getting on here. On that, doesn't it feel like this raGe is smaller than this one, though? Look, I definitely feel like this is a lot smaller than this. Yeah, hold on. That is definitely, this one's definitely thicker. But he has double cannon, though. I mean, I don't know why he delayed the cannon for so long. I mean, he didn't really do anything back in main base or anything. So, we do see that it looks just to be hatchery before pool with speed league opening. So not, I mean, trying to potentially. Well, you get that anyway. So it's not anything different. So, man, I wish I had a co-caster right now. It'd be so much fun. But anyway, we do see. Okay, gas going down for Yanks right now. Now, Yanks is probably going to be going for that +1 Zealot with Corsair build. We'll see how he's going to be going. He may go for a 3rd Nexus, but I don't really think it's going to be applicable to this game right now. This is pretty standard stuff what Yanks is doing here. Getting the double cannon up, going Forge, double cannon, Nexus, Gateway, getting gas, putting down Cybercore, around 4. Optimally you want to get them around 345, but he'll be putting it down soon, I think. High minerals, so he might be saving for healing. Maybe you want to take another Nexus? I mean, he's doing something with 200 APM. I don't really know what he's doing. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, I was going to take he had to do something with that. Maybe just spamming his whatever, but... Alright, so we do see... The scouting links here will be pushed back by the Zealot right here. Oh, actually getting a good surround on that. It's one pure Zealot. And Maybe too much Mutalisks might be... Yeah, MX is not going standard, or isn't doing the quote-unquote risky third build, or doing a three hatch build. Kind of going, actually, when I'm thinking about this, he's really cut a lot of drones. He's still getting gas, which I'm a little confused by. Oh, Link Bust potential. It looks like it might be successful too. Wow. Yeah, because he didn't wall that off properly. That's why. Yeah. He's not proper wall off. That's kind of why. Yep. And advanced game. +1 will be killed. He's trying to do Stargate, so he's definitely going that build. But you know, yeah, Link. But Yanks doesn't even GG. MX just GG his own self. So kind of like, you know, just kind of cheese his way out of that. I didn't really see how. Yeah, I definitely saw it because he cut a lot of pro production on that. I mean, drone production. So yeah, he's going for a Link Bust. I didn't really catch it that fast, but I was a little out of it. But that's okay. Finally starting to get sunny again, and I'm like happy. Game number 2 will be on Dante's Peak, so just jump right into this. Dante's Peak. We'll see how this map's gonna play out. I just have to get a refresher on my memory. So spotting the top left, it'll be raGe's MX who won with a Link Bust last game against Yanks, who failed to wall off properly. And spotting in the bottom right, it will be the Teal Protoss who walks Yanks here, which I'm gonna be a little bit more favored too because I'm a wOk fan. But it's kind of hard to tell either player's skill level, you know, from that last game. Yanks, I wouldn't put him as like a super high Protoss. He knows what he's doing, probably like a D, D+, maybe even C-. But, you know, didn't really show any really adept skill because he's able to wall off. So, you know, Standard Ridge might not be a map he plays on often, so somebody's can F up builds. And, you know, that's one of the things about Brood War. You know, you have to really kind of know the game a lot. It's not very user-friendly, if you want to call it like that. Meaning, like, you kind of have to know the game pretty well, like just how to wall off. Walling off isn't even like that simple. Like, you go to StarCraft 2, you just pretty much snug buildings together. You want to try to do that Brood War, you're gonna have like holes and gaps in your walls that doesn't make any sense, but it just happens. It's very bizarre. Like, you know, how are you supposed to know that you're supposed to put like supply depot, barracks at an angle to make a link tight wall? Like, who knows that? I mean, you kind of just have to know the game in order to do that. It's kind of bizarre. But anyway, we'll be Dante's Peak. So let's just check this out. Dante's Peak. Okay, I can see why. I mean, there's still these ridges, but it's not right outside their base, and you can't avoid that by going in the center of the map. So there are choke points that will allow Protoss to get some better engagements going on. Also, the third is going to be very difficult to take on this map. Very open, very open. Doesn't really matter which, very open. You know, your third does have gas, unlike a lot of maps where that third is mineral only, but, you know, it's going to be really hard to hold off, and I think that's why, you know, Yanks may be taking this map. But, I mean, I'm not even sure if this game's going on the late game. To be quite honestly, he's going 9 pool with speed, or... Yeah, I believe that was... Yeah, that must have been 9 pool with speed. Because that's... Yeah, there's no way that was 12 pool with speed. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he's going speeding, opening. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know, Yanks is not going to, you know, very differentiate that. I want to say it's tight, but I cannot say for sure. You know, the only reason why I'm going to be picky about this wall is, like, I'm normally not ever. It's because we want to... because the whole reason why Yanks lost game 1 was because there's a Link Bust and he didn't wall off properly. It's pretty much the whole reason why. We will be seeing that macro hatch. That's not really for an expansion. That's just for a macro hatch, and it eventually can transition into a natural, because there's really no way to punish that unless you sell like a 2-gate, but that would get hard countered anyway by speedling opening. So Protoss really can't do anything off this. All they can do is really kind of turtle for the really, really early stages of the game. So we do see the pilot being warped, drifted in. Leading that gas fairly fast, actually. I don't really know what's with these super fast gas, but it's like gonna go it. So, hold on. This is bothering me. You tore it. And you know what? Update you. I'll be very interested. That's tight. So speed should be starting to be researched. Okay, no, it's gonna go really quick. Meatless. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the style. I like 2-base Zerg. Against this, I think you really want to put pressure on the Protoss. But we're even seeing though, he just went for a fast cyber core. He's not even putting down his Nexus. He's just gonna go super fast Stargate, I guess. No, he's going DTs. There's really no reason. Unless he has 2 more gateways, he could go Speed Zealot, but I'd highly doubt it. Yeah, he really needs to wall this off fast. He's even getting Dragoons right now, which is not going to be the right thing. Because he hasn't scouted yet. You know, that I don't think he knows this is coming. I don't think he knows that 2 Edge Mutalisks are coming. I don't think he knows that... I don't know, he kind of like... MX... Yeah, it's kind of like... I don't know, I feel like he kind of wasted his opening in such a way. I mean, yeah, you can still get the 2 Edge Mutalisk scout, but he really didn't put any kind of aggression with these extra links. They're kind of just lying around. Could have been used for something, and I'm a little disappointed by that. You know, even potential running by, potential putting some more pressure on. He's getting +1, so make it appear like he's going up, but I believe no. I take that back. He's gonna go 3-gate Zealot, maybe with Speed Lot. Now that is an interesting build order. Yeah, he's going Speed Zealot. I thought he was gonna go fast DTs, but. The true question is, can he hold? Like, that's kind of the true question. That's going to be a lot of links, and Meals is going to be out. And he only has 1 Dragoon, so, I mean, right when that Spire finishes, he has no idea. And links are going to get in again. That's not a tight wall off again. And, oh, Yanks, why? I'm disappointed by his play today, but that's okay. I'm a devoted wOk fan. It's okay. wOk will win someday. I hope. That's very low on HP. Oh. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, he's trying to hold off, but he's not, like, mining that efficiently, so... This game's long over since he actually busted through that, so he's not another lane bust. I'm gonna call MX is gonna win. But, because, you know, Meals is gonna be out. Which will follow this up, and he's not gonna have Dragoons. Right when you see, I wouldn't be surprised if you're just gonna see this and quit right now. Yep. Okay, well, he GG this game, thankfully. Okay, Yanks is not BM. Just didn't decide to do it last game, but that's okay. So, not a super, you know, like, you can't really learn from that, or you can kind of learn not to wall off like that on certain maps. Yeah, I wouldn't do that again. You know, I feel like this is one of his downfalls last week is too. He just didn't wall off. I don't remember it specifically, but yeah, you know, I'm also surprised though. I mean, he lost the game, so I'm wondering why he didn't go for you know, Fighting Spirit in a more traditional map. I get the reason for Dante's Peak will definitely be more Protoss favored because you don't. Zerg's gonna have a difficult time taking that 3rd base successfully. Because they can't really do a proper SimCity well in time for like a 3-gate Zealot pressure. But the other thing is, I mean, Yanks with the most bizarre, he went speed loss, but scouting information should have told him that like he didn't take a 3rd. Like, you need to figure out what the Zerg's doing. You really can't play in the dark. You really need to get that. You need to get that probe alive. And I mean, maybe that's just because he was trying to out-meta him, which. You know, that, you know, 3-gate, 4-gate speed slot fast is not a bad strategy. You know, cutting off that Nexus, you know, might be, you know, hit or miss. I'll be interested if it would actually be effective enough. Because what you end up doing now is that you end up killing off that 3rd base much quicker. Which will probably just put you back, which, you know, I feel like that's actually more of a safer strategy. But But then again, you have to guarantee damage, and if they decide to put a lot of sunkens and blah 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 blah, it's a little more risky. I think it's more risky, but yet I feel a bit more safer doing that if I was a Protoss. But alright, anyway, going to our next series. That meant though that wOk won. Let me write this down. wOk won the 2v2. wOk and raGe, I believe, what the clan names are. So wOk won series 1 of the 2v2, and raGe won series 2. So we'll see how it's gonna go down. You know, maybe their 2v2 is definitely stronger. We do have 2 more matchups to go. We do have CAS versus Moxie. Might be a TVT. Which it's gonna be fun. TVTs. I don't really see a lot of them, but this might be a TVT, as they were both Terran, so I'm going to assume that they're both Terran. But, you know, just like Gangs, he was a Zerg, but, you know, this tends to be a more need for Zergs in 2v2. Alright, so spawning in the bottom left, it'll be, oh, no, I was wrong, it'll be I'm gonna say it's gonna be, what's it gonna be? Alright, it's gonna be a TVZ, okay. So spawning in the bottom left, it'll be raGe's SAS, oopsie. Did not change the overlay. It'll be SAS's raGe, excuse me. And then spotted in the bottom right, it will be the wOk's Moxie here. Now Moxie, I think if I remember correctly, I've casted him I believe 4 or 5 times now. Playstyle wise, I can't really recall anything. I feel kind of bad. I try to remember this as much as I can. But, I guess I should have cast more games with him. So we'll see how it's going to be going down. Ganks definitely had a difficult time with that, so we couldn't really tell anything from that. But anyway, okay, so, and his games will be CS, okay. Not Stemper's Rich here. So, you know, it's not that, like, either player really, opted to go this map. It was just because it's going to be, It's going to have... It's a starting map. So, you know, I've heard so many things of all my co-casters, all my buddies, and etc. So, what people have said is that for ZVP, Zerg has the upper hand. But I've also heard for ZVP, Protoss has the upper hand. But now we say for ZVT, apparently Terran has the upper hand. But yet, Zerg might have the upper hand. Because of this, it's really who can controls these ridges. You know, it's really going to matter because it counts as high ground, so lurkers on the high ground makes it harder for Bio to do damage. Not only is it hard for Bio to close the distance on that, now with the chance of missing is going to be greatly more difficult to get up there, to kill them off. Also, you know, this really contains, because you can only go, you can try to go around by, you have to go through this to get your ground force over. It's gonna say you could go through the third, but this corridor way, she's going up this way. Okay, so it looks like maybe he's got even 2 SCVs, so I don't really know what he's trying to do. But and also siege tank placement can be very difficult for like Hydra to do any kind of damage with that as well. So, but then again, you're not really using like you're using more like Ling. So I mean, I wouldn't really say that's really gonna favor Terran as much because it's just in the scenario of the game. Yeah, I mean like Hydra attacking the high ground on tanks is never gonna be a good scenario. But you rarely, if ever, see that. And I believe lurkers do count as melee when they're burrowed. Yeah, they have missile attack. I believe they count as because I believe they do damage under Dark Swarm. Yeah, they must. Yeah, so they do count as melee. So with that, they do the damage against on the high ground. Okay, so Bunker Rush inbound, probably going to get failed. Nice pulling out the pros from CAS right here. But that's a lot of SCVs, though. Okay, Bunker is finished, though, but no Marine in sight. He's really going to... That's a lot of SCVs pulled, though. Not making any more. He's trying to do all his APM right now. APM's over 260. Pretty high APM for this battle right here, but he's really trying to do... CAS may just die. Healings are out, so... well, this hatcher is gonna go down. What's the follow-up gonna be to this? Okay, he's gonna continue to macro up. I've rarely ever seen a successful bunker rush this well, but I believe that Sunken might be in range though. But SCVs can repair it though. So a big nuisance for CIS here, and you know what's stopping from Moxie to take the expand? You have to be very wary of though that a lane counter push can happen very, very fast. Okay, so it looks like this bunker is somehow holding on. Okay, finally, oh man, yeah, that hatchery, yep. No, he's gonna be just fine. That hatchery, but the problem is, like, even if the hatchery doesn't go down from this bunker rush, what that's gonna end up happening from this is that it's or he just quits. Okay? Alright, so Moxie wins game 1. So SAS is going to choose next, CAS is going to meet, not SAS, CAS is going to, choose the next game. So, what I was going to say is, even if Bunker Rush gets to that point, you've done so much damage, you know, to that hatchery, a later push, you can just target fire the hatchery and it's going to go down. So, yeah, but schedule Bunker Rush, well played by Moxie. Good cheese. But kind of unstoppable to kill it, with a 12 hatch. I mean, he definitely reacted to that well. Like, how do I punish a 12 hatch? You Bunker Rush, and wins the game from that. I mean, if he had a drone, he probably could have taken off a third base and tried to stay in, but, quit the game anyway. Makes it easy for me to cast Othello. Oh, I think I know what he's going to plan. Okay. I think he's going to want revenge from that, so he chose Othello, and I'll tell you why. Othello has this destructible debris here that 2 links to pretty much kill, and Terran can't do anything about. So, I'll talk about that anyway. Okay, so anyway, spawning at that 10 o'clock position will be the White Zerg, White Zerg, CAS here, competing for raGe. raGe is CAS here. Okay, that's not right. There we go. And I mean, the CAS hasn't really shown any. He was a fine Terran. I could definitely say Moxie, probably in that 2v2 series, probably knew what he was doing a bit faster. You know, just getting that better unit composition. But, you know, I wouldn't say he has a strong 2v2 Terran. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so Othello. I think what he's going to do is try to bum rush the Terran. Because, okay, this map is really not going to favor Zerg in any way. Because look at this. Your natural is very exposed to killing this off as well. So this could be, you know, a double-edged sword as well. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, down here, if Terran decides to 1-rax expand, which he probably will, as a lot of Terrans do it, it's very macro, very safe build to do. This map's a little bit harder to pull off because these destructible debris can be killed off. So you know, Terran has to, like, compensate from that by making this, like, really awkward wall, and it takes a while to build up. And, you know, if this goes into the late game, I'm not going to have a good feeling for CAS here. Because the third is so hard to defend, you know, look how open that is. You can siege it, you can go on the high ground. Like, this, like, would definitely favor Terran, in my opinion, way more, in this map. But we'll see. I do like Othello. I played, there was this custom game, because I'm nub and I cannot play Brood War, with their mechanics of being way too difficult for me. But, getting past that, I play StarCraft 2, and they have this awesome mod that, it's called StarCraft 2 Brood War. So what they did is this guy Maverick from Australia, like, made this awesome custom game, right? And they use the StarCraft 2 UI, StarCraft 2 UI with Brood War units, and it's, like, all bound, like, all the timings work out. The only problem, though, is, like, units are kind of imba in that game. Like, Marine Medic, like, medics have so much better AI, they heal so much better. So it makes, like, Eminem, like, impossible to kill. So, like, you have to go, like, 2-hatch Lurker. Mutalisks now suck because, you know, because, like, Marines just stim and they don't miss. They don't kind of clump up and really do bad. I guess he really wants to kill that SCV. I don't know why he's pulling so many drones. Oh, he's trying to bunker rush again. He's trying to bunker rush again. He just knew that was coming. I think he might be able to deal with this a little bit better now. He's killed off. Yeah, I don't think it's really going to do too much. And that, oh, yeah, this push has really been thwarted. I think it'd be better off to kill it off. I guess he's still gonna try to go for the bunker. Is about 2/3 of the way done. I think it does come up pretty fast. So tense moment though. Will that Marine be able to get in the bunker? It looks like he will actually, surprisingly. And I'm surprised again he let this happen. You know, he chose a map where, you know, Zerg does have the upper hand in aggression.